second biggest sale period of the year is almost here, which means your customers are about to be in a buying mood. Your competitors are also after those customers. And the way for you to stand out and crush this sale period is with email marketing. See, the thing is, most people that buy from you during a sale already know who you are. They've seen your ads, they've seen your products, they know what you sell. They're just waiting for a deal before they buy from you. So if you don't have the right email marketing strategy to capture people's emails in the months leading up to the sale and hit them during the sale for very cheap, you're missing out on tens of thousands of dollars or even hundreds of thousands of dollars of profit. So in this video, I'm going to show you the exact sales strategy that we've used to help our clients have their biggest month ever in June and July. And you'll be able to steal this to apply to your e-commerce brand. Let's get straight into it. So the first part of a mid-year sales strategy is the offer. And this is the most important key to get profitability in your sale. There are so many brands which I talk to which have super high revenue months, especially during Black Friday. And when they actually do their P&L in December, they figure out that they didn't make that much more profit in November. They might have even made less profit or no profit in November. And that's obviously not a place we want to be. We work super hard during sale periods. The warehouse works harder, the staff are more stretched, and the highest leverage thing we can change to make those months profitable is the offer. So the first rule is that you must be profitable on every single sale. Generally, customers that you acquire during sales periods, they tend to have a lower lifetime value and just spend less than normal customers that you acquire outside of sale periods. And these really, it's the type of customers that you think will just wait for you to be on sale before they buy from you. It's very rare for you to acquire a customer during a sale and then they come back and purchase from you at full price. So you can't rely on lifetime value or repeat purchases to give you that profitability. And there's a lot of businesses that do rely on this, like supplements, subscription brands, etc. Now, I'm not just regurgitating info to say that customers you acquire during a sale don't tend to come back as frequently. We actually analyzed 7 brands that we work with, and I've got the numbers for you in front of you here. You can see the first order average order value and the 90-day lifetime value, as well as the 90-day second purchase rate. And you can see really, like, for most of these brands, 7 out of the 8 brands, the customers that they acquired during Black Friday tend to come back less than everyone else. For this one brand in particular, customers come back more, but for everyone else, they tend to come back less. Now, a lot of brands go wrong and they think that they acquire customers that do come back because they look at their 90-day lifetime value dollar figure. And remember, all of these customers come back less frequently, like the repurchase rate is lower. For a lot of them, the dollar figure lifetime value is higher or about the same. But this is incorrect because it doesn't factor in that the first order is bigger. If the first order is $100 more, well then lifetime value increases by $100 naturally if customers come back at the same rate. But that's not the case for these guys. It only increased by $65. Now, the key takeaway here for most of these brands is that the customers they acquired during their sale periods were worth less than normal customers they acquire outside of sale period. This was the only brand where customers they acquired during the sale period came back more frequently than customers they acquired outside of sale period. So what is it that they did differently? The secret is they pushed bundles. See, the problem with running a mid-year sale or a Black Friday sale is that people are looking for a reason to spend less from you. But if they spend less from you, then you're attracting customers who just don't feel comfortable spending the level of money they need to buy your product. Whereas if you push bundles and you can force the average order value to be about the same or higher than what your products are normally priced at, well then there's a greater chance that they can come back and spend that same amount at your business again. So the key to picking an offer that maximizes customer lifetime value is about picking one that maximizes AOV. Because if someone comes to your website and spends $500, well then they're likely to come to your website again and spend $500 again for less next time. The second point I want to make is that you need to rotate offers. I want to show you this chart to kind of explain that. So this is sales per day on the left side and then time on the right. And let's say in general, you're making a normal amount of sales every day. This is your daily sales. When you launch your sale, you're going to notice that immediately after, your daily revenue just jumps. People are going to get very excited about the fact that you're running a sale or a deal, and then they're going to start spending a lot more. But then after a while, it's actually going to start to dip and it's going to go back down. And what you're going to notice if this is left unchecked is that your daily revenue will fall back to what it is normally before you ran the sale. And this is a really bad place to be because obviously you're offering some kind of deal or discount here. So revenue at this point is worth less than revenue before sale because you're offering a discount. So what do we do instead? Instead of letting it drop all the way down, when we start to see signs of it dipping, we introduce another offer. Now that doesn't have to be a bigger discount to what we're already doing. It could be an add-on. So for example, free shipping on orders over X. And that's going to get people excited. So then actually sales will go back up to what they were before. And naturally that will start to dwindle as well. So when it gets low again, then we introduce another offer. And that's going to be something like, for example, you go into the draw to win a blender if you make an order during this time. And then that excites people. So then they keep doing it again. And so the key to making sure revenue doesn't go back down during the sale period is rotating offers. Having just one flat deal is not a good idea. So now that we know we need to rotate offers, what are offers that we can actually run? Well, here's some for reference. We'll go in through them one by one. First is a bundle and refill discount. And like I said, bundles are the best offers for lifetime value, but obviously it doesn't mean we just discount bundles. We need to run a small site-wide discount anyway. So how we did it for the winning brand is we had a 10% off site-wide discount, and then we offered 20% on bundles. And for refills, we offered a 30% discount. And this is a very intelligent way of doing it because a 10% off site-wide discount, that's something that like most people have access to anyway with their welcome series code. But we only really attract high quality people because we give the big discount to people that have money to spend. And then the biggest discount, that's the one we give to our returning customers. You're not really going to buy a refill if you haven't bought from us before. So you can see how this strategy is very conducive to lifetime value. And you can see why that this was the only brand with a cohort that performed better in terms of lifetime value. So the next offer is a tiered discount. And what this is instead of, for example, saying we have 20% off site-wide and it's very clear in your messaging what the deal is, this makes it a little bit more vague when you say between 20 to 40% off, for example. That's one we ran for another brand. And the interesting thing about this is people actually have to click to see if their products are discounted by a bigger amount than normal. It forces customers to have to click versus a 20% off. People can just see, oh, everything's 20% off. That's not high enough for me. I'm not interested. This is one of the best offers for brands that have a wide range and they have core hero products that they don't really want to discount, and they have a bunch of other stuff that they want to clear stock of. And so their offer can just be a ranged discount, like between 10 to 50% off as a deal, or they can say up to 50% off. And really people are just forced to click in and see if their item is available. Another spin on the simple discount is doing $1 off, and you do it per item. So for example, one of the brands we work with, they have 4 different products. One of them is like $17,000 or more. They just set specific dollar figure discounts for each of those items. And for the highest tier item, they offered the biggest discount. And this is one of the things during Black Friday last year, their average order value was 70% higher than what it normally is because a lot of people went for that premium option rather than the smaller items, which had a much smaller discount. I didn't really include them in my lifetime value calculation because it is a one-time use product, but this can be a very powerful idea for you to keep in mind, even if you do have a consumable. Now, the flat site-wide. This, I make it look really bad, but it is the simplest offer. It's tried and tested and it does work. However, we just have to know it does acquire worse customers. And it's especially true for subscription brands. So what we noticed about the subscription brand is that we did offer a flat site-wide discount. They only sell a couple products. People came on to subscription at the 20% off, but then their renewals were at full price. And so when people got that renewal, they're like, oh my God, what the hell? And cancellation was way higher than what it was normally at other points of the year. Now for subscription customers, you pay a lot more to acquire them compared to one-time purchase customers. So it's something to be very conscious of during sale periods. So it's very important to actually log how your cohorts perform after Black Friday to make sure that it leads to profitability. Consumables, same thing, but it's a 6% reduction in lifetime value, which again, if your first order is profitable, it is not an issue, but you just need to be conscious that these customers will come back at a lower rate. And if you rely on them coming back for you to make profit, this is a bad idea. Now, this next offer is a purchase to enter giveaway. And it's basically saying, hey, if you spend X amount of dollars, you go into a giveaway for X or Y or Z. This isn't really an offer that you lead with, but it's more as one of those refresher offers that you use when the sales start to slump. You say, hey, everyone who buys after this day and spends this much goes into a draw to win X. And it's not something you just want to reserve for email. You really want to push it on your ad side as well. But it works really well because generally the item that you give away, like let's say it's like $200 or $1,000 that you give away, and you generate $30,000 to $50,000 worth of sales from those campaigns pushing the giveaway. That's functionally a 2 to 3% discount that you've offered on top of your initial offer to boost sales back up. Another variant of this that works really well is offering a free refund for for a certain amount of orders that purchase in the next period of time. So for example, you send out an email, you say, hey, everyone that purchases is going to go into a drawer and we're going to refund 5 orders. And so let's say that leads to 100 orders. Well, then you've functionally just given away a 5% discount, which isn't that much. So that's a really good offer. And now that should give you all the tools you need to come up with the best offer for your brand, which maximizes lifetime value. Now let's get into some actual tactical email marketing stuff. Quick pause before we continue. If you want help running an end of financial year sale or a mid-year sale for your business, my team will help run your entire sales strategy. We will write all of your campaigns, build custom flows, and build a pop-up for your business for a one-time fee and no agency retainer to help you have your biggest month yet. Links in the description if you want to claim that. Back to the video. And the first part of any good email marketing strategy is the pop-up. So the pop-up's really important because you can't email people if you don't have their email address, obviously. And the thing, like I said, with most mid-year sale customers is that they were on your site in the months leading up to the sale. They know who you are. So the goal of the pop-up is really just to capture their email so that when the sale arrives, you can get in front of them as cheaply as possible because it's basically free to send an email. So the key to getting all these people's emails is to have a high converting pop-up. And I'm not going to go too much into the pop-up in this video because I have a full detailed video on how to set an evergreen pop-up that you run year round. Please go ahead and watch that if you haven't seen it already. But during the sale, you also want to keep a pop-up on. And you don't want to give an additional discount. You actually just want to put the normal offer that you're running on the pop-up. There's a really common mistake that I see that people think they have to give an extra 5% off your Black Friday sale on your pop-up, or they just turn off the pop-up itself during the Black Friday sale because they're like, what's the purpose of this? But actually, what we find, we just put the offer that we are running, let's say it's 10% off site-wide that we're running, we put that on the pop-up and people still sign up for some reason. Now, it's not gated. We don't force them to have to sign up to the pop-up to get access to the Black Friday sale. If they just go to the website, they'll see that the Black Friday sale is live and they can purchase anyway. However, again, for some reason, this just works and we've used it across all of our clients with no issues. Now, the next most important part of your email strategy is campaign. And the thing about campaigns for Black Friday, when we're looking at the biggest sale period of the year, we've analyzed every brand that we run a Black Friday sale for. And we've seen like, what is it that separates the winners from everyone else? We've worked really hard to try to analyze the factors that make them different. Is it the branding? Is it design? Is it having the biggest deals? Is it the offers? And the thing was so simple. It's just people that send more emails perform better. That's it. We just want to be really present in our customers' inbox. Because like I said, there's a ton of people out there that want your products, but they just think it's too expensive or it's out of their reach. And just getting in front of them is enough to get them to convert. And so the brands that send more are just in front of their customers more and they end up doing better. Now, your mid-year sale though isn't a Black Friday sale. So we don't want to spam people as hard as we would during Black Friday. However, you still want to send more than what you normally would. You can figure out what's the right amount to send by just looking at your performance for your engaged 90-day segment. So when you send campaigns, if your open rates are above 50% and your click rates are above 1%, you can send 2 or 3 more emails a week above your weekly cadence. Whereas if it's below that, you probably send 1 or 2 more max, or I recommend just staying at your weekly cadence. The reason I say this is because for a lot of your mid-year sale emails, it's going to go out to a bigger segment than your engaged 90-day list. And so if your engagement on the engaged 90 isn't that good, we don't really want to scale the volume. Second thing is hit the engaged 90-day list the hardest, but also do send emails to your full list because there's a lot of customers on there that are interested that just won't be in your engaged 90-day list. Here's a pro tip. You can actually unsuppress your entire database and send just for the sale period, 1 campaign to everyone. And then after the sale is done, suppress those profiles again. Now this is something that works because a lot of the people you've suppressed are people that just interested in your brand anymore. But the one thing that is going to get someone to come back to your brand and buy is a deal. This is probably the strongest thing that we can provide to people. And so we want to just put it in front of as many people as we can. And then number 3, like I said, make sure to rotate offers. I can't stress this enough. This is what makes the difference between a 0 profit sale and a very high profit sale. Now, in terms of campaigns, also test the send times. These are the normal send times that we recommend testing, and all of this has to be done before the sale period. And then based on what performs best pre-sale period, use this exact timing to send emails during a sale period. Now, SMS is a turbo boost for any sale that you're running. People in general don't like being SMS'd unless you have a good reason to SMS them. And a sale is the best reason. Again, we don't spam people with SMSs. I recommend you only run like 3 to 4 SMSs during your sale period. And that's one to tell people it's live, another one mid-sale. And then in the last 24 hours and final call, you send 1 or 2 SMSs. The rule here with SMSs is that you just don't want to send it before 9 a.m. and you don't want to send it after 7 p.m. Again, I really want to stress, people don't love text messages, but they especially hate it when they get it during their private time. Now, in terms of content for the emails that you send, for the header, you always want to make it so it's focused on the deal that you're running. That is always going to be the prime thing of interest. But for the rest of the email, there's a lot of different things that you can say. It can be category pushes, it can be product pushes, it could be founder emails, it could be social proof, it could be stock and urgency. These are the ones that I recommend you lean on the most. But you can also do educational messages. You can also do before and afters, myth busting campaigns in your sale emails. Like most people are just going to click at the top of the email anyway. They're going to see that there's a sale and they're going to click through. But we do want to make sure that we have other info there for the people that actually scroll through. And having educational just helps kind of add variety for the people that do read the emails during a sale period. And just putting it together, here's an example campaign calendar. So for a brand that's running end of financial year sale, which is a mid-year sale in Australia, on June 18th and 19th, we'll send a product teaser. They're actually launching a product during their end of financial year sale. And then on the 20th, we send a hype email in the morning and then a go live a couple hours afterwards. Now, the thing with hype emails is generally you don't want to tell people about a sale before it happens because then they'll just won't buy. But the hype works a few hours before on the same day because the gap between hype and actual launch isn't that long. So the sales pause for just a couple hours. Hypes also work really well because it just helps tell more people about your sale. For example, if you send one email, well, then it's 10,000 people that see it. But if you send two to 10,000 people, well, then more of the people in that 10,000 will open the email and know about your sale. After that, we send some emails with some social proof, messages from the founder. We push categories, and then we send more information on hero products, and we send another SMS midway through the sale. And then we rotate the offer. We add in a free gift and a giveaway entry offer. And on the last day, we make sure people know that it is their last chance to get it. We really play the urgency card, and then we end the sale. And a little trick that we do is that we also send an email just extending it for people that may have browsed the sale and giving them the last opportunity to get access to the sale and get an item on discount. We don't show the sale happening on the website. We just create a code that people can use to redeem the sale, and we send it to people that have browsed but have not purchased. And the next part of your sales strategy is your flows, and flows will actually do 35% of your email marketing revenue during a sale. But a lot of brands just turn them off because they don't want discounts to stack or the messaging will be inconsistent. But that's wrong. The key is to actually just update your flows so that it is consistent with your offer. It's really important you don't turn off your flows. It's also not that hard. There's two ways you can do it. There's the easy way and there's the harder way. So the easy way is you can do a banner swap. So for example, on the left over here, we have an abandoned cart flow email. And what we do for these guys is you could potentially just create an easy banner with your sale details, and you can attach that banner to your abandoned cart flow. Now, the hard way of doing this is by actually just redesigning the entire flow emails for that specific sale. It has strong incremental value during Black Friday, but again, it is a lot of work. It may not be worthwhile for everyone, so the banner works if you're not there. And the key thing is it's important to just have these 4 flows live during your Black Friday sale. That's the welcome flow, the browse, the abandoned cart, and the post-purchase. And the important thing with these flows is that you shorten the delay during this time. For a lot of flows, for example, the abandoned cart and the browse, you can have delays which are like 1, 2, 3 days even between emails. But if your sale only lasts for, let's say, a week and a half, that could mean the difference the second email going out while the sale is live or not. So for example, if you have a flow that triggers over the span of a week, compress the delay so it triggers over 3 days. Now, post end of financial year, this is where the great brands are separated from the good brand. And the first thing that you need to note is that there will be a slump. After every sale, your daily revenue will be lower than baseline. However, it will recover within a week or 2. The key is that you don't panic discount because your sales are down. Now, post-sale, you want to split your messaging to buyers and non-buyers of that sale. For people that purchase from you, you want to change the messaging to just urgency and gratitude. You want to thank them, send them plain text messages from the founder being like, hey, thank you for your support. We appreciate it. And set expectations on shipping. Warehouses are probably going to be busy during this time. If you run a sale, like mid-year sales, everyone's running sales. Shipping might get delayed. Set that expectation, make it clear. For a lot of people that found you during this time, send information to show them why you're different, to reinforce their decision, to remove that buyer's remorse. Help them fall in love with your brand beyond just the discount that they signed up for. Now for browsers, we want to kind of extend the sale from them and give them a discount code which they can use to actually make a purchase. We can make segments of people in Klaviyo that clicked on emails during the sale, have browsed, have viewed products, and we can target them specifically to send them a code and just extend the sale just for them. Because if they were clicking on emails, that shows that they were interested. There is money there, but they didn't buy. And we don't really ruin our buying reputation because we're not plastering this on our website. We're not plastering this on ads. It's just for specific people that we do this for. How do we do it? Again, don't publish it to website, provide a unique code, and make sure you exclude purchases. This is only for specific people that clicked and browsed your website during the sale period but did not purchase. That's the end of this video. You now know everything you need to run a successful mid-year sale. If you want help running this for your business, my teams actually run the end of financial year sale and the Black Friday sale for over 100 businesses around the world. We can run your end of financial year sale or your mid-year sale for a one-time payment. We will write your campaigns, build your flows, and execute the full strategy for you to help you have your biggest month yet with no agency retainer. If that sounds interesting, you can click the link in the description to speak to me and learn more. Otherwise, I'll see you in the next video.